All right, this is it. We've done 7 maze videos so far, and we're down to the last 2. And I thought about doing number 2 and number 1 together in one video, but that would have been 20 minutes long, and I don't think anybody wants to sit through a 20-minute video. So we're going to keep doing how we're doing it and give you one maze at a time. And this is my number 2 for Halloween Horror Nights 2019 at Universal Studios Hollywood. This is my number 2 maze. And just the beginning of the maze and the soundtrack built up so much tension and unease for me that I was terrified to go in this maze. And what was great was, you don't hear it, but Red tells her once upon a time story. So you hear the owl, but the owl rarely ever worked. And I wish there was more to this portion, but it is amazingly detailed. I wish that little girl was real and would pop out and scare you, like in Orlando's version.
I never stop thinking about you.
That's a while through without any scare actors. So my first time through this, I did not know which of the 4 were real. And as you can see, as my camera shakes, it scared the crap out of me. The soundtrack and the scares were just so good. So the Reds wore a mask for a little bit in the beginning of the run, but I'm so glad they got rid of them and they had face characters portray Red, because it was so much more unnerving, and having an actual face stare at you, like straight faced, was so intimidating. I loved it so much. These 2 were great, and he looked exactly like the guy from the movie. Gosh. Just the acting is so good. Those 2 were some of my favorites. And then when they got rid of the red masks, Red and those 2 were incredible. And as you can see, there's very little black hallways in this maze. And again, going into the maze, just, I wish there were scare actors in here. All of these scare actors are A++++. This was my favorite scene. So good. So good. And then just not knowing who was real in the finale, this maze was the best maze, movie-themed maze I have been in. So yeah, this is what it comes down to. It just comes down to the atmosphere of the maze. What am I feeling before I go into the maze? Am I feeling scared? Am I feeling excited like Killer Clowns from Outer Space? Am I feeling meh because there's nothing to look at like Stranger Things? Us and the Curse of Pandora's Box had the perfect creep factor that I loved to make this 2 in 1. So, just the story of Red talking at the beginning, or the Once Upon a Time story in the beginning of the maze. And I've got 5 on it, and the creepy songs in the beginning. Fantastic, and you're walking through, into the mirror maze in the funhouse. The beginning of the maze was a little underwhelming because there was nothing to really look at or see, but it was themed. It looked like I was in the movie. There were very minimal black walls, except when you're going through the black hallway to get to the forest to where the house is. And when you're going to the white neighbor's house. But honestly, that is perfectly fine. And the black hallway ending with all of the people holding hands for the Hands Across America, fantastic. And so I am so glad that they got rid of the masks for Red. It looked weird when we first walked through there. And I don't know why they were all wearing masks. I guess so they all look the same. But I didn't like it. And I'm glad they got rid of it. Because when I'm looking at a performer or a character and they don't have that mask on and they're giving me the look, the intimidating look, done. You creep me out. I'm ready to go home. I don't want to go through this anymore. 2 people, the 2 white people in the house in the beginning, the one who's smiling in the mirror and the one who pops out, I don't know what that guy's name is. I don't know what his name is in the movie, but he looked almost exactly like the actor that is in the movie. So I just wanted to give my props to them. I wanted to give my props to all of the performers in this maze because it was fantastic. And the family, when you're walking by them, when they're all holding hands, I didn't know which one was real. And so when I walked by them, I'm like, oh, this is all dummies. There's going to be somebody who pops out of the curtain on the left. Nobody popped out of the curtain on the left. And then the boy, Mask, is that his name? I don't know. The boy in the mask, when he moved, I almost pooped my pants. So, yeah, the whole maze, the whole environment of the maze was terrifying. And I felt uneasy all the way through. There was no portion in the maze where I felt calm or I felt, all right, this is your breather. This is where you regain your strength to go through the rest of the maze. No, this is what a Halloween Horror Nights maze needs to be. And it was fantastic. So the only reason why this was my number 2 was because the mazes that you go through, the mirror mazes, it had no one in them. I wish something or someone popped out, made a noise, did a flash, the whole Halloween Horror Nights shebang. And I'm just a sucker for original content. So I knew what I was expecting going into this maze because I loved Us. I thought the movie was fantastic. I think Jordan Peele is a fantastic director, and I can't wait to see more of his films and see more of his films become mazes at Halloween Horror Nights. So Us is my number 2 for Halloween Horror Nights 2019 at Universal Studios Hollywood. And stay tuned tomorrow for my obvious number 1. And until then, have a good day, and I'll see you tomorrow.